we want to look at what is called the variance. Now, the variance is the square of the standard deviation. For example, if the standard deviation of a data is 1.5, then the variance is 1.5 squared, which is equal to 2.25. So to find the variance, you use the standard deviation formula and you square your answer. And so the variance is given by S squared is equal to sigma x minus x bar squared all over n. For an ungrouped frequency distribution, the variance is given by S squared is equal to sigma f times x minus x bar squared, all divided by n, or S squared is equal to sigma f times x squared divided by sigma f minus into brackets sigma fx divided by sigma f squared. So let's consider this example. Example 3 says the mean of the numbers 15, 21, 17, 26, 18, and 29 is 21. Find the variance of the numbers. Now let's look at the solution. The mean x bar has been given to be 21. So what we are going to do is to form a table. Now in the table, we are going to have our values, and then we'll have the value minus the mean. Then we'll have the value minus the mean squared. And then later, we'll substitute these values and try to find what we've been asked to find. Now, under the values, you'll find we have 15, 21, 17, 26, 18, and 29. Now, in the next column, we are going to subtract the mean from each of these values. So we have x minus 21. So we are going to have 15 minus 21, which is negative 6. 21 minus 21, which is 0. 17 minus 21, which is negative 4. And then it continues. So for 26, you're going to have 5. For 18, you have negative 3. For 29, you have 8. In the next column, we are going to square the answers. We'll have negative 6 squared to give us 36. 0 squared, as you know, is 0. Negative 4 squared is 16. 5 squared, 25. Negative 3 squared is 9. 8 squared is 64. And then we will find the total in that column. And the answer is 150. Now, the next thing we have from the table, the sum of x minus 21 squared to give us 150. And our number of different numbers, which is n, is 6. So the variance will be equal to sigma x minus 21 squared divided by n. So that gives us 150 divided by 6, and our answer is 25. And hence the variance for the distribution is 25. Now let's look at a few more examples. It says the table shows the distribution of the number of letters per word in the first 50 words of an essay. And in the table, I'm sure you can see number of letters, number of words. We have the number of letters going from 1 to 9. And the words are 1, 3, 6, 10, 12, 7, 6, 4, and 1, respectively. The question says, calculate correct to 2 decimal places the standard deviation and the variance. Now, for the solution, we are going to form a table, just as we were doing before. We'll have our values, we'll have our frequencies, we'll have the frequencies times the values, we'll have the value squared, then the frequency times the value squared. Then at the bottom of the table, we'll find the sum in the various columns. Now, I'm sure you can see the table. We've filled in all the columns. And I'm sure under fx, you can see 1, 6, 18, 40, and so on. Under the x squared, where we are squaring the numbers, you can see 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on. Then, under the f times x squared column, we have 1 times 1, 3 times 4, 6 times 9, 10 times 16, and you can see all the answers down to the end. Now we have found the sum of all the frequencies, that is 50. The sum of the frequencies times the values gives us 250. The sum of the frequencies times the value squares is 1,410. Now, depending on the formula you want to use, you can first find the mean. Then you go on and use the mean to find the standard deviation. Now, our mean here is sigma fx divided by sigma f. And that gives us 250 over 50, which is equal to 5. Now, the standard deviation, we put down the formula. And our formula here is sigma fx squared divided by sigma f minus x bar squared. So we put in our values. Remember, you have to take the square root. We put in our values and we get the square root of 1,410 divided by 50 minus 5 squared, because our mean is 5. Now that gives us 28.2 minus 25. And we get the square root of 3.2, which gives us 1.79 as our standard deviation. To find the variance, you will square that answer. So the variance will be s squared, which is equal to 1.79 squared. And the answer is 3.2041. But the question says your answer should be written to 2 decimal places. So this answer will have to be written as 3.20. We have learned that the variance of a distribution can be found by using the formula s squared is equal to sigma into brackets x minus x bar squared, all divided by n. Or s squared is equal to sigma f times into brackets x minus x bar squared all over n. Again, we can say s squared is equal to sigma fx squared divided by sigma f minus into brackets sigma fx divided by sigma f all squared. Now we can find the standard deviation of a distribution using the same formulae, but finding the square root. So you use the same formulae, but this time you have the square root and the s is not squared. Now don't let these formulae frighten you. Just work with them frequently and they will stay in your mind. Now, this brings us to the end of this lesson. In our next lesson, we will start a new topic, which is probability. I want you to make a date with me. Make sure you don't miss any of these lessons. And after each program, go and work a few more examples, and you'll get better at your maths. So until next time, it's bye-bye